Hey, are you looking to move to Collingwood, Ontario, and you're not sure what area or neighborhood you want to move to? Well, stick around, because in this video, I'm going to take you on a summer driving tour so you can get a different feel and a different vibe and kind of just check out the different neighborhoods, at least from my point of view. And then that way you can kind of explore and see what might resonate with you before you even make the trip up. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Collingwood, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. That way you'll just be the first to know everything that is happening right here in Collingwood, Ontario, or the general area like Blue Mountains and Wasaga Beach. My name's Kevin DeSilva and I'm a local real estate agent here with Royal LePage Locations North. And I get calls all the time from people just like you that want to make that lifestyle change and move to Collingwood or the general area. So if that's you, it doesn't matter if you're looking to do that move next week, next month, or even next year, or honestly, if you just want to learn more about the area, reach out to me. All the ways you could do that are in the description box of this video, including a link where you can book a Zoom call directly on my calendar at a time that works for you. Other than that, let's get on with the summer driving tour. Okay, so we're in another neighborhood in Collingwood. This one's called Mountain Croft, and it is just before High Street traveling west, like from here, Ontario. So you'll see a mix of two-story homes, some raised bungalows, some bungalofts. But this is a really nice area in Collingwood too. Well-built homes, pretty much all brick homes. You don't see too much vinyl siding over here, that's for sure. And homes in this area hover around the $1 million mark. Some of them, there's been some sales for 1.2 and some under 1, but I'm gonna say the $1 million mark is a good number to go off or to start with. So I'm just gonna go, I'm on Wilson Street and I'm gonna turn left, I'm gonna turn right on Lockhart, just so again you can see some of the different styles. Some of them are big, some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them are a little bit smaller, of course, but there's some nice character on some of them. And yeah, this gives you a little bit of a sense of what Mountain Croft feels like. This is on the south end of Collingwood, again approaching High Street going west, and High Street is one of the main roads going in and out of Collingwood on the west side. So that gives you a little bit of a feel on what it's like. I'm gonna turn on a couple more streets here, turning on Finley, so you can kind of see what Finley looks like. And I'm going to turn again right on Dance. So I just want to give you a little more sense of what some of these homes are like. A lot of families in this neighborhood. It's a good family neighborhood. There's a nice park actually, not too far from there. So yeah, this is Mountain Croft, and we are going to head over to the next neighborhood. Okay, so we just turned on to Pretty River Estates. We just turned on to Hughes from Poplar, and that's Robertson right there that I just passed through. And homes in this area, some of the detached townhomes on Robertson that were like really nicely done are selling around. There was one recent sale of $780. Some of the homes on Hughes are hovering around that $1 million mark, even getting close to 1.1 in some cases. But this is, again, I'm driving on Hughes, and you can see what the homes over here look like. Again, we're in Pretty River Estates, and then as we get close to Portland, we're gonna hook a left and go over to Indigo Estates, so you can kind of see what they look like over there. But Pretty River Estates has a mix of detached homes and some townhomes. Again, the townhomes are more on Robertson to get us into that. But the detached homes are like this. You see some 2 stories, but a lot of story and a half. And even some with that bungalow look. So that's just gives you a little summer version of what Pretty River Estates looks like over here. And then we're gonna turn left on Portland here. Okay, so now we're made a left off Portland from Hughes, and we're getting to the Indigo section of this neighborhood, and you'll see an instant difference in the way the homes feel and look. You know, the trees aren't as mature. Not that Pretty River Estates is a super mature area by no means, but they're just a little bit older than this section, and a few more detached. So here you have we're going down the street, we're going down Portland, right? And on the right, you got some detached homes, and on the left, you had some semis as you approach McLean here. So I'm gonna just kind of turn on McLean so you can see what some of those homes look like as we're approaching head on. You can see some of them right there. And yeah, so this is, we're on McLean here, and in some, I don't know if you can tell right now on this angle, but you can, from some points in the neighborhood, you can, you know, see Blue Mountain in the background. So that's really nice and stuff to get that view, and just kind of see it on your drive in and out of the neighborhood. But yeah, this is a summer version of Indigo and Pretty River. I know we covered this in our winter driving tour, but I wanted you to see the summer version, of course. Even though in the winter it looks nice on the backdrop in Blue Mountain with the ski hills and stuff. But yeah, other than that, that's Pretty River, that's Indigo, on to the next neighborhood. All right, so off from Mountain Croft, if you just go right across High Street, you are in Summitview. And Summitview has a few different phases. I'm driving on Plews. Is it Plews or Pluis? I've heard people say it both ways. Well, anyways, this is Denbach Park on the right. You can't really catch it in this dash cam, but there's a nice park over here, very popular family park, and playground, I should say. There's a big playground over there. And there's a few off streets here, like Bassett, Spencer. As you work your way up, there's Maidens, Crescent. There's quite a few. I can't drive all the streets. There's too many. But there's a lot of two-story homes. Again, raised bungalows, bungalofts. This is built by Devonley Homes, very popular builder in the area. They've done quite a few phases. Creekside being another neighborhood. Well, actually, you know what? We'll hit the Creekside next and show you that. But yeah, we're in Summitview right now, and you can see some of the homes that are 2 stories. The prices in here. I was showing a townhome the other day, and they're asking, in the $700,000 range, $750,000 range. And then some of the detached homes are in the 8s and 9s. So it just depends on the size, because there's some kind of a lot of different size options here. There's a lot of different layout options that honestly I really like. Some of the ones on Maidens I was in the other day had the main floor ensuite, primary ensuite, and primary bedrooms, right? So that was a kind of a cool layout for some people that didn't want stairs. But you'll see a lot of family homes, some larger family homes that you can see. And this is like 7 minutes to the mountain. It's really close, or maybe 10 minutes to the mountain. It's very, very close. Poplar's right there. You can kind of take the back way into Blue Mountain if you want. I'm just turning on Rowland right now and heading towards Poplar, just so you can kind of get a different sense here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to turn on Maidens, because you'll see some of the different styles here on Maidens. Where was that bungalow I was at? There's not many. There's very few, but there's just, there's some nice options for floor plans, right? And some different things. So these are all the 2-story ones. And then, there's the bungalow up ahead. I see it. And there's another one there. You'll get a head-on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, with the black truck in the driveway just on the left there. That's a bungalow style layout right here with main floor, primary bedroom and bathroom. So that's kind of a cool layout. And then of course you see the 2 stories over there. But yes, this is Summitview and built by Devonley Homes. And let's go over to the next Devonley Homes development. Been around for a little bit longer than this one. This one's pretty new. Some phases are only a couple years old and some are literally like brand new. So we're gonna head over to Creekside next and show you what that looks like. All right, so this is the Creekside development. This is right off of High Street, more north than where we just were at Summitview. This is a Devonley subdivision. This is closer to First Street or Mountain Road if you're gonna go over to the mountain. And in this subdivision, you're gonna see a lot of homes hovering around the $1 million mark. We were just doing some showings earlier this week, and a lot of them were in the 950 to 999 mark. Some of them back onto parks and walking trail, like park space, green space, walking trail over there. So those could be a little bit more depending on if you're a 2-story or a bungalow. Not too many bungalows here, but there's a few. A lot of them are 2-story homes, and they're really nice. And like the trees are a little bit more developed here. This has been around for for, off the top of my head, about 20 years or so. So you'll get a sense of what it looks like over here. There's a playground just up the road. I mean, it sucks that I'm driving through it on garbage day tomorrow as people are bringing out their cans. But hey, this is raw, this is real, and I'm just showing you how it is through my lens, exactly what it looks like. Hey, if you're gonna live here, there's gonna be garbage day. You're gonna see it like this someday. So anyways, on from that, yeah, this is Creekside, and the homes in here, like I said, just under $1 million for the most part. Some have sold over $1 million for sure. There's the playground over there, JJ Cooper Park, and yeah, that is Creekside in a quick nutshell, just looping right around Chamberlain Crescent. And I'm gonna head to the next, actually before I head to the next, I didn't point it out on the way in, but there is a condo development at the entrance of Chamberlain on the northern entrance. I'm going out the southern entrance right now, but there is a condo development where there's some condos in the somewhere in the $400,000 ranges. So there could be some affordable options there, and there are some townhomes that back onto High Street as well. So yeah, a few different options, a few different price points to consider. Well, we had to make a stop on the tree streets. I'm not gonna drive them all. I'm just gonna drive down Maple. I just crossed 3rd Street, and I'm just making my way to 1st. And just, can't not do a summer driving tour in Collingwood and not do one of the tree streets. So just wanted to point that out and show you some of the homes over here and what the street looks like and feels like. And the walkability to downtown is your 2 blocks. It's just Pine, and then it's here, Ontario. So you're right there. Like, it is right there. You can walk to all the restaurants, all the shops when you live down here. And you know what? We'll drive up here, Ontario, on the way to the next neighborhood. But as you can see, that as I'm approaching 1st, you can see the terminals out back, out in the backdrop there, and yeah. But we'll drive down. I'll loop around and I'll drive down here, Ontario, and then go over to the terminals probably after the tour. We'll end there. All right, so we're in another neighborhood. This is Lockhart. We also did this in the winter tour, but I love Lockhart, so I had to do a summer version driving through Lockhart. We're just approaching Kinsman Park, where you got a playground for the kids. You got tennis courts. You can do tennis clinics with Sunny. On Court with Sunny is his YouTube channel name. Or you can get a private lesson with Sunny and let him whoop your butt like he does mine when I get a lesson. He completely tires me out. But it's all fun and it's all good. So yeah, you can go there. That's Kinsman Park as you go through Lockhart here. And the homes in Lockhart, there's some ones that are certainly well over $1 million, even over 1.2. But then there's some hovering around $1 million, and some of the smaller ones, even 800,000, 700,000 as you work your way through Lockhart. But yeah, let's say if you're on something like Carmichael Crescent, or just some of the courts and stuff like that, they could be a little bit more because they're a little bit more secluded off of Lockhart. But Lockhart is a super mature subdivision. My favorite subdivision as far as maturity goes in Collingwood, I like the tree streets. Everybody likes the tree streets if you're on any of the tree streets, but that's kind of a totally different field neighborhood, not quite subdivision-y, if that's a word. I'm gonna make it a word. But yeah, so this is Lockhart, and just giving you like a sneak peek, quick drive through as we're going, through, and giving you the, the summer version of speed bump of how it looks. I'm just gonna turn on Christa Court so you can kind of see these homes over here and what they look like, and give you a sense of some of the nicer and bigger ones in the Lockhart area. But there's quite a few. This is just one example in one court that I decided to go through. All right, so we're just in the parking lot here at the Admiral School in the Admiral District here. And so you can see what some of the homes look like right on this street here. So just to give you a sense, and this is like just this is day drive, so right off of Lockhart, just another cutout in the new section that they built off of the Lockhart road, the mature subdivision of Lockhart, and then they kind of made this this cutout to the new section. So get a sense of what that looks like. You know, your walking distance to the school, of course, over there, and then there's some even newer homes out here on Kirby. So there's lots of options here around the 900,000 mark, million mark. Some lower, some higher, but you know how it is. That's how pricing goes. Depends on finishes and all those other things. But as you get here, you'll notice that it kind of feels different. Obviously, well, it feels way different than where you are in Lockhart, but it's just a jog off from day. But yeah, you'll get a sense of what they are here. A lot of bungalofts, 2 stories, basically all 2 stories and bungalofts here is what you'll find. And again, as you're looking west from here, you'll get that nice mountain in the backdrop. All right, so we're just driving down here Ontario towards First Street. So we're driving north, just past 3rd, where 1858 Caesar Bar is. And man, it was bumping. There was a lot of people having their evening cocktails. It is evening time right now. I'm just driving down. So people are, hanging. Some people are hanging out on the patios, on some of the patios at least. Some of the other patios, like Brightside Deli, isn't open for dinner. But, there's some nice patios over here on my right that you can go and hang out at, have a coffee at. Fig and Fetta's right here. But yeah, I'm just approaching First Street, where you can go to the Millennium Park, the Harborfront Park over there, and that's where the marina is and where the boats are and the waterfront walking trails are. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick drive-by so you can get your summer version of downtown Collingwood. Okay, so we're pulling into Georgian Meadows. This is Alyssa Drive, and this is a very popular family neighborhood too. This one's kind of cool because it's kind of like smack in the middle between downtown Collingwood and the South Base Lodge of Blue Mountain. So you can go like 7 minutes in either direction and have 2 totally different worlds, right? Downtown Collingwood and skiing. So the homes here, they're really hover around the $1 million mark, and even the smaller ones, even the smaller bungalows, even if they're not that renovated, to be completely honest, I've seen them go well into the 9s, even the unrenovated ones well into the 9s. So there are some bungalows, some of them back onto a trail over there, like especially the ones here on Alyssa, or on the opposite side on Georgian Meadows. But yeah, this is kind of what they look like over here. A lot of 2-story homes. Yeah, kind of a mix of 2-story homes and then bungalows. Some raised bungalows, but some straight bungalows, and yeah, I'm gonna turn here on Brook, kind of see, so you can see what these look like over here. But yeah, expect that $1 million mark for the most part, if not more in a lot of cases. There's a playground over here, Black Ash Park. There's a playground over there, and let's see what else. As you're getting closer to the mountain, you can definitely see it on this street on Brook. As I'm driving west, you could certainly see the mountain in the backdrop. So it's kind of nice just getting that depth, right? When you're living in these neighborhoods, just getting that depth of having that mountain, that contour, that just kind of a different views, right? As you're driving around on your daily commutes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this is Georgian Meadows. I'm just gonna do another loop around, show you a little bit more, and head over to the next neighborhood. All right, so we're now in Balmoral Village, and you'll see some of these new condos over on Kimberley Lane, and these have been actually selling recently. Not these in front of me. This is a retirement community, but the ones that you just saw on the first part of the video, those have been selling in the high 3s and in the 400,000 range. And then as you work your way into Balmoral, like towards Kari, some of these on Sutton Lane and stuff like that, and on Kari, some of them have sold in the 8s, but there's also been some beautiful ones that have sold. There's a recent sale of 1.3 million. So it really, it really depends. And I know it's a big, wide difference, but if you're backing onto the escarpment there or some of those protected areas, and depending on the finishes, of course, it could make a big difference. But this is a community. This is the Balmoral Village community here. There are maintenance fees, like condo town. These are condo townhomes, right? So the maintenance fees are around $500 a month, depending on the size. But that's what you can expect as a ballpark, is around $500,000. And there's been a few sales in here, as you can see some for sale signs as I'm going through. But that's the range they're selling for. This one was for $750, one was for $850, and there was another one a while ago, not too long ago, but over $1 million. So it just kind of depends on there. And then so that's Balmoral Village, like the super quick, like the minute and a half recap. So we're gonna move on to the next area. All right, so we are pulling into the Mair Mills Estates. So there's a playground right there, you'll see, and there's a tennis court also off to the side there. That's the Mair Mills Community Park. And there's a couple townhomes over here on Thomas Drive that hover around in the mid $800,000 range for the last ones that have been for sale. But these homes normally don't go under $1 million. There is one for sale right now that's about $985 and a little bit dated, but if they're nice, they're well over $1 million. And if they're backing onto the golf course, like some of these up ahead, they're way more than $1 million. $1.5 million, maybe even upper ones. Again, depending on finishes. But this is what Mair Mills Estates feels like. You're getting closer to that mountain backdrop on the west side. So yeah, that's what that feels like. But you can expect to pay more money on in Mair Mills Estates than where we were at, let's say, Summitview or even Creekside and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Mair Mills Estates, and that's Blue Mountain in the backdrop, as you see there. And again, some of these homes surround the Blue Mountain Golf and Country Club, so obviously that adds a premium to the value if you back onto the Golf and Country Club, of course. Or are you on the inside, or are you on Kells? So there's a few different streets if you're on the inside part of Mair Mills, or if you're on the outside, which the outside I'm calling the side that backs onto the golf course, right? So that's just something to note. Or if you have those, the views on some of those homes just looking over the golf course over onto the mountain, that depth perception is amazing. So, and it just enhances your views having the mountains in the back. So that's really cool. But anyways, other than that, on to the next neighborhood. All right, everybody, we are in Blue Shores. This is a waterfront community in Collingwood over on the east side, and it's kind of a really tight-knit community, right? So it's a private community. There is condo fees in here because this is a detached condo development, like detached homes, but it's there's maintenance fees and stuff, but you have lots of things to access. Like you have a private marina, you got a clubhouse, you got an indoor-outdoor pool, you have a tennis court. It's literally right on the water. It's so nice. You just have a lot of amenities, and it depends on the size of your home, but put aside about $500 a month, a little more, a little less, depends, for those maintenance fees. But yeah, like I said, you get lots to offer. And then homes in this community have been selling anywhere between 900 and 1.3. So you gotta, again, obviously depends on if it's facing the water, if it's on the inside, there's a pond it could face, does it facing the pond or anything like that. So it just kind of really depends on that, but it is really exclusive, really highly sought after in here too. There's a couple other waterfront communities we didn't get to today, like Lighthouse Point, for example, but it's a totally different caliber and feel, to be completely honest. But yeah, this is the Blue Shores community, and we're just approaching, oh, sun's in my eyes. Sorry. Yeah, we're just approaching kind of the part where you can almost see the marina and the tennis courts over there. But yeah, that's that's what it looks like over by the marina. So there's like a pond over there. So it's nice to walk around here. Just go for your evening walks on an evening like tonight. That's just so nice. There's a playground over here. A lot of retired people here. So maybe the grandkids when they come, and here's your private marina. I'll drive around this way too. That way you can see a few views of the water. And this is the tennis court over here and the pickleball. Like look at where you're playing. You're playing right on the water on like a peninsula. Like this is incredible. And there's your private, your private marina where you can put your boat. So this is an amazing community. This is Blue Shores, right on the waterfront in Collingwood, more towards the east end. So yeah, this is if you want boat living, this is a cool one because you can have it right in your own community. So here I'm driving down Dawson, and there's areas here like the escarpment, the Oxbow, and there's just a lot of like condo townhomes, like stacked style in this area, but super affordable. There's a lot in the threes. Like where do you find things in the $300,000 range? So this could be something, on the entry level or super downsizer if you're okay with some stairs, unless you get a ground floor unit. But that's something you can keep an eye on in this area, is some of these condo towns right off of Dawson. There's a few different ones. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that tour. Honestly, I didn't cover tons of neighborhoods. I probably only covered a fraction of them. There's so many more neighborhoods in Collingwood. There's so many more streets to consider. Even the neighborhoods I did go to, I didn't get all the streets, right? So it is really hard to pack this all in, but I hope you found that valuable, right? And remember, we could just do this over a Zoom call where I could share even more streets and I can make other suggestions. So feel free to book a call with me. All the ways you could do that are in the description box of this video. That link will book a Zoom call directly on my calendar at a time that works for you, and then we can go from there. Again, I hope you found that valuable. There's more to come. Make sure you subscribe for the weekly videos, and until then, I'm looking forward to helping you make a smooth move to Collingwood.